Alucard, son of Dracula's back in Transylvania, but this time we're cutting him off from his animal forms, as he's a recovering furry. This means we're not allowed to use the bat or the wolf form. Lacking the primary mode of aerial transport, we may end up in some sticky situations.
What is a man? A miserable little pile of secrets. But enough talk. Have at you! Over! Grant me power! No! It cannot be!
We start off overpowered and have the ability to smite all the devilish Dachshunds as we go, trundling through right up until the Grim Reaper reaps all of our flashy stuff away from us. No bother. Make our way through the halls, equip the short sword you pick up from the first Rattlebones, remembering to nab the Cube of Zoe on the right before dipping into the alchemy laboratory, break the globe and get our first armour upgrade. Now in the room above, there's a Scarlet Skeleton. Kill him as he stands on the switch on the floor and hop up to the next level. With a bit of luck, he'll wander off and on the switch when he reanimates, allowing you to hop up and get a pretty good weapon, the Basilard. It has incredibly short range, but at this point it absolutely chews through everything with its incredibly fast attack speed. Run past the alchemical station and attack the flame. This gives you the leather shield, for some reason. In the next room you can break the floor to get a cheeky health up and break the wall to the right for our first heart up. In the next room there's a box surrounded by spikes. Press both switches, push the box up and get it lifted into the air like a Shaolin monk demonstration. Hop up to the right and nab the first cloak upgrade hidden in the globe. Now make your way for the first save point ready for the upcoming boss fight.
But enough talk! Have at you!
The strat here is just before you trigger them off, fire off a Tetra spell by holding up, then doing the following input, then run in, spam attack to mop up. Easy peasy. Onwards. Head up to the next save room and then proceed to slice and dice your way through the marble gallery to meet up with Maria.
I've come to destroy this castle.
Then we have the same purpose. I'll trust you for now. I'm Maria. Who are you?
Alucard.
After the awkward teenage moment, we can move on to the outer walls. Drop down and check out this regal rapier rammer. Fire off some more Tetrasols and head behind him. Now this room has a secret. Take out the back wall and just wait there. Reminds me of something. And we'll get dropped down to grab the mirror cuirass and the dual knuckle dusters. A rather overtuned weapon at this point in the run, as normally you'd need to head in here with mist powers that we'll get later. Heading up, take a pit stop at the D20 room to prepare for the doppelganger fight.
But enough talk! Have at you!
I tried to use Tetrasols again, but unfortunately he's got the nous to turn into mist to avoid it all. No matter. Run at him and punch him in the toes until he relents. Just outside his room is a jug with yet another health up. Grab it and head all the way upstairs. Activate the elevator, grab this heart container and go back down to nip into the library. Whilst we're here, smash a few lamps to get some uncurses. You'll see why later. The librarian is not willing to help us at all, as we're working against his master. But after saying we'll grease his palms, he's perfectly happy to help us destroy his workplace. Grab the Jewel of Open and an extra library card, just in case. While we're here, we might as well grab the Fairy Scroll. Now make our way all the way back to the marble gallery, only stopping off to head and open the door courtesy of the Jewel of Open. We can't retrace back through the boss room, so we need to take a detour. Avoid all of the moaning Marie Antoinette dolls. And grab the Spirit Orb, because seeing damage numbers is cool. When in the Red Halls, there's a long-suffering husband with his ball and chain. He hits like a truck, but you can remove the problem by punching him in the ankles. In the next corridor, a writhing abomination of colossal proportions, the Old One slumbers. Its cyclopean form defies mortal comprehension. Madness arises in all those who gaze upon it, wherein a primal terror from the deepest recesses of the human psyche will form, breaking anyone foolhardy enough to test their mettle. Oh look, the definitely not skirting copyright laws Cthulhu died. Press on back through the castle until we reach the now openable door to meet up with the lovely Maria again.
So we meet again, Alucard.
It seems so.
and into the royal chapel. Now we'll have a couple of issues with the stairs. The decrepit dragon heads and the fences perched on them are all designed to attack diagonally at us, so the short range of the dual knuckles will be a bit tricky, but we can normally out DPS them and erase the problem before they have a chance to hit, usually. When we enter this great hall, head up the spiral staircase and grab the goggles hidden above for a bit of a stat bump. Then drop down and head into the door on the ground floor on the opposite side to grab the Knight Shield, a solid upgrade. Make your way to the first bell tower, just don't get knocked off by the birds. Nab the health up and silver plate mail and head across to the next tower. After the corridor we have a dinner date with a feathery combatant.
But enough talk! Have at you!
The hippogriff doesn't pose much of a threat, and is bested by, again, punching it in the ankles until it ceases to exist. After yet another rendezvous with Maria, head through the castle keep and all the way up to the Leapstone. Notice how irritating all of these turkey wranglers are. I'm sure that won't be a complete nuisance later. For now, head back into the teleporter and grab the heart up. And it's back to the marble gallery for the clock tower for us. We need to hang fire and wait for the statue to move away. Any minute now. Right, let's head through Olrox's quarters and dart straight for the Colosseum. Make your way through the halls until you reach this room. Just as you enter, you can use the Tetra spell to clear out most of the Calcium contenders. Nip down and crotch punch the Dark Souls cosplayer, hop over and grab the shield rod, and Tetra the rest of the stragglers. It's boss fight time.
But enough talk! Have at you!
Richter's presiding over proceedings, and a werewolf and Minotaur are our partners in gladiatorial combat. Time to span Tetra Souls and go for jabbing them in the junk. Head through and grab the only form that we can use. Mist. Right now it isn't hugely useful, but we'll be doing something about that. Use the library card and head all the way through the library to the outer wall. Keep pushing through the clock tower. Use the mirror cuirass we found earlier to not get too stoned by the gold Medusas. In the second clockwork room, break down the secret wall to grab an extra health up, and head through the pointed armour rooms until you reach Karasuman.
But enough talk! Have at you!
Just Tetra and jump punch him until he's banished to the Shadow Realm. Head up and save. We could be here for quite some time. So, looking at the map of this area, we need to get up here, which is where the Power of Mist is. But we have no way to fly, as we don't have the bat form. After Alucard double jumps, you can press down and jump again for him to dive kick. This will bounce him up off enemies and candles to send him up. And in this area, there are a bunch of aerial ant-men around for us to use as a turkey ladder. Sounds simple, right? Problem is, they do a chunk of damage, and it's tough to get into position to set it up. Let's go and swap some gear around so we have less chance of dying. Back to the library we go. Swap out to the Elven Cloak, and now equip the shield rod, and we should be able to tank all of the hits like a champ. So let's swing back and try again. And after a few attempts of not quite getting up there, we have the Power of Mist. Now we can fly anywhere we need to. Time to go back to the clock tower for our final movement item. Using the Power of Mist to fly up, we can grab the anti-gravity boots. Now, head down the passage we opened up much earlier in the game. Head down and into this doorway. Bust open all the pots like an undead bull in a china shop. And grab the Moonstone necklace along with some meal tickets. Save and head to the purple D20.
Mother! I'm coming, Mother! I'm coming, Mother!
But enough talk! Have at you!
The tricksy succubus. She has many attacks. She can duplicate herself, send out tendrils to hit you, get up close and personal with a kiss of death. Oh look, she's dead. Anyway, grab the ring and get out of there. We now need to head to the opposite side of the castle. Head straight for the spike corridor in the towers. You may be wondering why I haven't got the spike breaker armour. Well, it turns out if you transform out of mist and spam uncurse, you get invincibility frames and can just meander through. After another flirt with Maria, we can grab the silver ring, teleport over to the library and traipse all the way back to the central clock, wherein both silver and gold rings will cause the bottom passage to open up. Grab the health and heart ups in the side room and head down into the central chamber. In the fleshy centre of the castle, Maria will give us some holy glasses.
Well, here. Take these with you.
Now we should be able to see what's really going on. Teleport back to the library and head to the orange transportation room and teleport to the keep. At the foot of the ruined stairs you can fly up to this doorway and grab some goodies before we start. Head over and break open this door, and grab some new armour upstairs. It's now time to face Richter.
But enough talk! Have at you!
Make sure you have the glasses equipped and ignore him, but batter the glowing green orb overhead. After that's done, he comes back to his senses and Shaft shows up to shaft us and inform that the inverted castle at this point is little more than a boss rush. Using the power of mist to avoid most enemies and darting straight from boss to boss. But first grab all the health up goodies in the keep as well as a swanky new cape. First up on the chopping block is the Darkwing Bat.
But enough talk! Have at you!
The DC villain that remained on the cutting room floor. Tetra plus hit with our mighty rod and he's left for scraps. Grab the Ring of Vlad. Head through and go to the clock tower to pick up the dragon helm. Loop to the outer walls to face the creature.
But enough talk! Have at you!
He keeps rolling around like a bad naughty's earworm. Again, Tetra plus rod until the problem goes away. Grab the Tooth of Vlad and loop back the way we came. You can get past this bit by turning to mist. Now stomp through the castle until we reach the Medusa in the ante-chapel.
But enough talk! Have at you!
Pop on the mirror cuirass and go ham. I threw holy water all over the place until she was little more than a sleeping snake nest. Grab the heart and run for Deathwing's lair to find Akmodan II.
But enough talk! Have at you!
Tetra spell and give him a good old rodding. And the Hammer Horror antagonist is down. Take the rib and bolt for the catacombs. Oh, now it's actual Cthulhu, but this time called Malachi? Hang on, what does that mean? Okay, moving on. Grab the health up in the inverted clock room and head on to the catacombs to greet the Scythe Swanger.
But enough talk! Have at you!
Hop up and give him the Rod of Bunk. Phase 2, Mecha Battle Prawn incoming. Is much squishier than his visage would lead you to believe. Apply corrective measures of rod and tetra spells until the crustacean is not a problem, giving us the Eye of Vlad. It's now time to take the long walk. Back to the clock room, back to Daddy Dearest, to tell him we don't care what he thinks, and hanging out with humans isn't a phase, Dad. But first, time to shaft. And after some tetra helping hands and utilising the ramrod,
No!
Well met, my son. It's been a long time.
Dracula, he has big hands. Just avoid the attacks, keep throwing down holy water and you'll be fine. Let's try again. His second phase can be a bit tricky, but you can use the mist form to dodge his stretchy head attacks and... Okay, I'm going to level with you. I sat here getting bodied for quite a while, and I could either sit here for an unknown amount of time bashing my head against the wall, or I could, well, just one upgrade. It won't hurt, will it? I can feel power. Yes! And now, the boss fight looks like this.
Go back whence you came. Trouble the soul of my mother no more.
Sorry, I don't quite know what came over me there. But the castle falls, daddy issues vanquished, and we all walk into the sunset. And that's it. Challenge completed. Let's put it on the tier list. The hardest part of this whole thing was finding out the tricks and having the game knowledge to get it done. Now, the game is difficult, but only on your first run when you have no idea of attack patterns and no idea of where good items are. A lot of research was needed to perform this, but the difficulty of the actual game for me lands into I'm too young to die. And with that, I need to thank the channel members who are making this possible. Casper, VideoPop100, Picked It Mate. And thanks to you. Good night.